the stock market, meaning companies, new highs.
I'm not fucking leaving. The show goes on. Nuts! They're nuts! They know nothing!
An online network called Internet.
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
Welcome to Market Mania, the no bullshit approach to all financial markets, including Top Shots, NFTs, cryptocurrencies, strange dog money, and of course, the largest casino in the world, the US stock market. Joining me today are fellow degenerates Jeff Krantz and Jack Jones. We're going to be talking about the labor shortages around the country. Amazon is about to issue debt for some stock buybacks. Altcoin madness is in full swing. We're going to look at some of the fallout from that. We'll give you our picks of the day, of course, but first, let's talk about these weird voxel 3D based NFTs called Meebits. Now, these were all the rage. These are the follow-up sequel hit from the guys that brought you CryptoPunks, and they thought they would take their brilliant idea and just add an extra dimension. I mean, why not? The last one worked. But we've hit a few snags on this one that CryptoPunks didn't, and that resulted, most recently over the weekend, of a $700,000 exploit from one of these Meebits being minted. So I haven't had much of a chance to go over this. Jeff, can you take me through what happened here and why anybody should continue to care about voxel-based NFT art?
Yeah, that was a great intro. So Meebits is the newest project from Larva Labs, which is the group that created CryptoPunks, the rookie card of NFTs, as they're called, which is a 2D 8-bit NFT. And this is their new NFT, which is a 3D voxel-based kind of avatar. So kind of bringing it from 2D to 3D. The idea is this might be your avatar in the metaverse. And there's 20,000 unique characters. Some more common than others. Most of them are human beings, but you can see here, you could get a skeleton, you can get a robot, an elephant, and I believe the most rare is an alien. So basically what happened over the weekend is an individual found out that when minting these NFTs, which is basically a process where you buy a new Meebit, and then you randomly get one in return, they found a way to be able to do what's called re-rolling, where basically they would make the purchase and then kind of peek at what Meebit they'd be receiving. And if they didn't like the rarity of it, they would cancel the transaction and then re-roll. So they were basically set up a list of here's the rarest Meebits that are still available and just keep canceling transactions until I get those. And it eventually ended up with them getting one of these aliens, which they were able to sell for $700,000 in ETH, of course. And Larva Labs basically had to go ahead and pause the contract to stop this person from draining all of the rarest remaining Meebits.
Unreal. So it's a little bit like you get to open up the baseball card pack and see what the rares are, and if you don't like it, you reseal it and send it back.
That's exactly right.
I could see that going horribly wrong, and the guy that figured it out, his name is 0x Nietzsche here. Apparently he was gloating and bragging about making $300,000 an hour. Said he took his tweets down and came back and said, definitely sent out some regrettable tweets in the last few hours after coming down and processing it all. They do sound very douchey. So, it's this army of douches out there that's going to find all of these problems with our new DeFi environment. Is guys like this scaring people away from DeFi, or is this hardening the system and finding these exploits so that it's more resilient in the future? Jack, what do you think?
Well, that was going to be my question is, what did this do to the market? I didn't know much about Meebits. I just saw it on my timeline, was it a week ago now when it came out? And it seemed like pre-exploit, it was not well received by most people. And now we have a 6-figure exploit. So I mean, my question to you, who's watching the market real closely, is: was this a non-event? Is this just an interesting news story, or did we see like a material dive?
I think the immediate reaction was, especially from people holding the super rare Meebits that maybe they paid 300 ETH for, there was a shock there. But Larva Labs moved pretty quickly to pause the contract, and luckily only one was exploited, and it was picked up by a prominent NFT collector, Pranksy. So they're kind of the way the community is rolling with it is there's a story behind this one particular Meebit. the exploit has been closed, and hopefully we can find a way to move on from it.
And what was the initial frustration with Meebits?
Yeah, so I think some people thought of it as kind of just a money grab,
Yeah.
just a cash grab. They did a reverse Dutch auction starting at, I think, 2.5 ETH per Meebit. And then they also allowed it, they did what's called a community grant. So anyone that had a CryptoPunk or an Autoglyph, which is their other NFT project, you can actually use that to claim a free Meebit, which was kind of a cool part of the process as well, was kind of gifting that to their existing community.
Well, it all looks like Clown World to me, and I don't know where this all ends, but you know, it's going so fast I can scarcely keep up, and it really seems to be getting more and more. You know, like you have to be a very specialized person just to even get exploited in one of these markets, much less be a sucker and stumble into it. Most people are not going to be messing with this. Most people are going to be wondering where their next paycheck comes from. And I guess in this case, most people are getting it from the government, which is why we have these massive labor shortages around the nation. McDonald's is having trouble finding people to employ, and the problem is, of course, they're not paying enough. No one would want to get off the couch and stop getting their government money and then go to work at a place like McDonald's. Hot days, long days, you got to wear a mask. Why? Why would anybody do that? So we're seeing a real problem here with companies trying to staff, and at the same time, prices are rising. So we're going to have a job issue, prices rising, and when they finally start paying people to go back to work, start paying enough, the $15 an hour and up, that's going to drive prices even further. So, Jeff, I got to ask, let's say McDonald's starts paying $15 an hour. Does that alleviate some of the problems? Does that just create some of these greater rises in prices and greater shortages ultimately?
Yeah, I mean, I think you keep seeing these shortages. I'm hearing stories, you know, down here in Florida of people who are getting building loans based on what they thought the price of the materials would be when they got the loan, and now all of a sudden their builder is telling them, "Hey, sorry, lumber tripled since your mortgage loan. We don't have enough money to build this house." So it just seems like things are all out of whack, and I don't know what we can do at this point to stop the inflation.
Well, commodity prices are rising: oil, lumber, steel, everything. What's the end game here, Jack?
Yeah, I think the $500 sign-on bonus on the yard sign in the original Wall Street Journal picture of the labor shortage article, I mean, that's the free market mechanism for solving labor shortages. And also shouts to my hometown, Cranberry Township. That's our McDonald's, a little 20,000 person town. Wall Street Journal cover photo, woohoo. But yeah, that was Friday's article, the labor shortage. And then I think it was Sunday, they hit us with the prices are rising, high single digits, double digit articles. This one here, consumers feeling the pinch. So inflation's mainstream now. It's not this niche crypto like, hey, the cash machine's gone burr, inflation's happening. Now it's like anyone that's remotely exposed to like the business world is aware. And I have to think that people are smart enough to see past like, oh, this is transitory. So I don't know.
That's the word we keep being told is transitory, from the people that didn't see 2008 coming, from the people that have caused every boom and bust cycle we've ever had. So I just put up the chart here for steel, American steel. This is just one commodity that's been going through the roof, and the price action on the stock has been following. You can look at, oil. Oil has been going through the roof, and I don't see this stopping. They're talking about this being a commodity super cycle. This might be a commodity super new normal. I don't know how prices go back down to anything resembling normal in the future here. So this is going to be really interesting. And in the face of all of these inflating companies and money flooding the system, Amazon comes along and announces that they are going to be doing stock buybacks. And in order to do that, they're going to be issuing bonds. Now, I am not a person who thinks bonds are necessarily a great place to be, but maybe some private corporate bonds in a company like Amazon is a really good idea. What do you guys think of this? Are you in favor of these stock buybacks, and do you think Amazon would be a good buy in this situation? Jack, what do you think?
Philosophically, not a fan of stock buybacks. It seems like capital that could be reinvested into the company, either through infrastructure, technology, or labor. Never been a fan. I'm not that educated, but just hearing they're using bonds to do stock buybacks. So they're saying, hey, investors, give us money now. We'll use that money to raise the stock price today and then pay you back 2, 5, 10 years from now with the bond you got from us. So that even seems like more of a shell game where they're not burning down cash on hand, but they're actually saying, hey, market, give us money today so we can raise the price super short term, and then we'll deal with the long-term consequences many tomorrows from now. So I don't like it.
Well, they've got quite a schedule here of everything from 2-year to all the way out to 40-year bonds for a private company. I thought this chart was impressive. This is the last time in June 2nd of 2020 where they sold 10 million in bonds and did a stock buyback. So I guess let me ask you, I can do the math on this one. Less stock available, more money available. What happens to the price of Amazon, Jeff? Are you getting in here, or is this just pumping to collapse big in the future?
So I'm fundamentally not an Amazon fan myself. And this seems to me like typical kind of short-term capitalistic thinking of, kind of like Jack said, pulling the future forward now to try to get short-term gains, which I've actually given Bezos credit in the past because he does seem like a long-term thinker. But based on what you said, yes, I mean, supply and demand says that this should run up in the future or in the short term.
Well, it can't fault a company for wanting to buy their own stock back. That does give them a lot more flexibility in the future. But, we've all been suffering from just stock buyback mania over the last couple of years. This is where all the printed money goes, all the value of the printed money goes into these companies, and it's really just leeching from Main Street, ultimately the end of the day. But I don't want to lecture too much on Clown World, because there's so much more fun things out there to look at, not the least of which has been the Ethereum run-up recently. That's been busting through 4K, and on its heels, you see funny things like this. I'm going to put up the Ethan Allen stock. Has been pumping because people think they're buying ETH on Robinhood. They're buying Ethan Allen. So, yeah, look at that. That's Clown World shit right there, and we're going to see a lot more of that. Also like to point out some of the other Shiba Inu coins and other dog coins. In fact, Jack, you are a Updog multi-trillionaire or something right now, aren't you? Why don't you tell us about Updog?
I mean, I have to think it's just cashing in on the people want dog-related meme coins. They're FOMOing on Doge. They're FOMOing on Shiba. Updog, it's hilarious. I think they issued a quadrillion tokens. So I've got something. I'm like, I don't even know. I tried to put it in my tracker spreadsheet, and I missed a zero or added a zero, and it's a mess. But I mean I guess the big question mark in my mind is how long is the window of people FOMOing into specifically dog-related meme coins? Is this like a Monday to Wednesday thing, or is this like the rest of May? Because that's the longest term it can possibly be. Is like, I mean, maybe the rest of Q2. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, right now, while you're pulled up the Ethan Allen ticker, I'm looking for stock tickers with DOGE in the name, or DOG, or maybe like a Cardano, like an ADA stock. Are there any like pink sheet stocks I can buy? Just cashing in on the next like improperly Googled misclick from the retail stock investor.
That is interesting, like a misclick ETF you're putting together. That would be a pretty fun ride, I think. I don't even know what Shiba Inu coin does. I know they're just,
it makes your money become more money. That has to be all it does. The utility can't be there.
Yeah, I saw a wallet of someone that put in a quarter of an ETH back, I think, like July of last year, which was, I think, about around $100. And now they have 2 billion worth of Shiba Inu sitting in their account, and she just got listed on Binance, so it's become fairly liquid. So it's just absolutely crazy what's happening.
To be fair, I should say the Updog team gave $6,000 yesterday to an actual brick and mortar dog shelter. So they are using the frenzy right now to do actual real positive good in the world. So credit where credit's due.
it's good to know that there's some good coming out of this. But from slumdog millionaire to updog multi-trillionaire, the world just doesn't make sense to me anymore. But we're trying, folks. We're trying to help everyone navigate this weirdness. Run out of time, though. We got to get to the Market Mania pick of the day. Before I do that, got to put on the safety glasses. I hope you guys are ready. Here we go. Pick of the day.
Drop it like it's hot. Everybody stack. I'm stacking to the top.
All right. We don't waste your time. Let's start off. Jack, what is your pick of the day?
I like 11 Finance. It's Finance Smart Chain Auto Compounder. If you've farmed any liquidity pool tokens and you're always debating, oh, should I harvest the rewards and pay the fee or should I wait? Well, the guys,
the ELE?
ELE. Yeah, it's on CoinGecko. It's still relatively small. Let me see if I can send you a link here. It's trading like the $6 or $7 range. But yeah,
What's
the problem
deal
they
with this?
solve.
What does it do?
They auto compound your liquidity pool tokens. So they instead of you having to figure out when to harvest your rewards and whether or not the trade-off of the small transaction fee is worth it, their computer just does it for you, and then it reinvests the harvested tokens back into your liquidity pair. It's, in my opinion, the most efficient way to, as the name would imply, auto compound. And the total value locked on the website, it was 80 million bucks last week. It's over 300 million. So the 11 Finance word is out. People are aping in, it seems. I'm excited about it. The stock has finally pushed past its previous all-time highs. I think we could see a little run up here, trading at $7.50 right now.
Nice. Almost 30% pump. Love it. All right, Jeff, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, I'm going with the Doge 3x Bear token. Things are feeling a little bit crazy to me. I try not to call the top, but I think it's kind of a good way to hedge. It's a good way for me to hedge my portfolio at this point is to go short on a little bit of Doge. If crypto markets keep going crazy, maybe I get liquidated on that, but the rest of my portfolio goes up. Or if crypto in general starts coming down, I expect Doge to go down more significantly, especially with the 3x leverage.
Right on. Well, I got to go with kind of a sure bet today. Polkadot. I see as the alt season continues apace, Polkadot's going to catch some of that fuel. And, at around this $40 unit price, some of these tend to move only, 4 or 5%. But I think we'll see this one actually have a pretty good spike here in the next few weeks. Well beyond that. So I'm pretty bullish on it, pretty excited. Get yourself some DOT, and you might be a happy man. Okay, well, we
Awesome.
gotta wrap up the show here today. I'd like to thank you gentlemen for joining me. Remind everybody that if you go to Mindac Gold, you can get your precious metals at very special discount pricing. You just got to mention Market Mania, and Mindac Jack will set you up. So go check him out, and you support the show doing that. Also like to remind you to like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you can to make some noise on our channel. Help us get the word out and kick up some dust in the old YouTube space, because that's how we grow. We really appreciate you guys watching. So with that, gonna leave you to the markets. They're not getting any more sane. Just want to say good luck out there, and we'll see you tomorrow, if there is a tomorrow. But for now, it's lights up.
I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine. I never sleep if I don't have. I never sleep. I never sleep if I don't have my medicine.
Time to right the wrong. So your hands in the air if you like the song. If you're going over there, take it twice as long. Last time ain't talking about Tylenol. Oh, I bet you'd like to know. You can come around the way if you're trying to go. If you want to switch lanes for a pot of gold or a domino, out of control. The usual. Get mad cause I'm looking at your girl.
Switch it up.
I do it so much louder than everything you've heard. Everybody heard, got the word that the world wasn't turning. Act like you're in a jury, however turn it, where I would turn it. Can't lie like it's Mississippi burning. Don't act like you're in a daze. I imagine it look the other way. Couldn't clear space on my mind, was afraid of the time. Strobe light like in the moonlight. I'm in the mood right now, how about tonight? My interview's tight now.